Hi, my name is Jim Gardner, and welcome to Art Painting 101. Hey, I'm no expert. I just started painting 4 years ago, but I paint nearly every day, and I've painted over 350 paintings. Mixing was one of the most frustrating parts of learning how to paint. So I learned a method that we can learn how to mix colors without paint. I know that sounds a little odd, but we can use the colors that we already have in our palettes. My palette is listed in the video description down below, but it's not a recommendation, just information. One of the things that you need to do is learn to see color probably differently than you were used to. At least most beginners do. And here, this video is just an introduction to the system. It's not a complete final event. What we're going to do is we're going to go to goldenpaints.com/mixer on the internet. And there we can learn to see color and isolate it better and come up with our own mixes. So what I did is I opened up two screens side by side for comparison. And the first color we're going to look at, believe it or not, is white, or at least that's what most beginners would think the color is. But it's kind of amazing that when you click on the color, you find out that it's really not. So let's begin. In the left window, click on the image option and go to the bottom where it says choose file. Let's use this cropped image of Edward Hopper's Sun on Prospect Avenue as a learning tool. You can use photos or major artists' works you have previously downloaded. Once the image loads, you simply click on an area and the color is isolated and the mixer brings up a formula. Of course, they assume you have every color in their catalog. After all, they are trying to sell paint. I will, in this example, start with yellows. Choosing Cad Yellow Medium, I click on it and put it in a tube. Now I choose Cerulean Blue, which I have. After mixing 2 parts yellow with 1 part blue, it's easy to see the color is too dark in value, and it's difficult to tell what colors may be needed unless we get closer in value. I go to neutrals and choose titanium white, and we need to add quite a bit, so I will click on the number and type 20, or you could hit the plus sign 20 times. We can now see we are slightly darker, but more vividly green. It seems to me we need a very light brown. I chose Naples yellow and add 2. Wait for my mixer, and after comparison, I think it's not quite enough, so let's add 1 more. I review the change, and I think it is now too brown, and I reduce it back to 2. See the boxes to the right? These are the swatch color with white added, and comparison in these ranges is often easier. Well, we have a color. It's not perfect, but it's in the ballpark, and there is no paint wasted. You can take a screenshot and refer to it later when you want to mix. There we go. We came up with a color. It's not quite perfect, but it's very close. And when I go to paint, I'm not a slave to the formula that I came up with. I simply use it as a guide. So much blue, so much yellow, so much white, and I know that I can push the color one way or another as I'm actually mixing it. Let's do another example, this time in a color that a lot of people seem to have trouble with. Let's use red. Here's the example. Once again, in the left window, click on the Image tab, move down and choose a file, in this case, a red couch. I chose an area fairly bright red, and Golden's mixing formula appears. Again, I don't have any of these colors. Go to the other window. We need a red. Crimson will be too purple, so I use Cad Red Medium. We need a dark blue, so let's use Ultramarine, because the formula called for a dark green. I forgot to place the red in the tube, but it's no problem. We can add it now. Next, we need a yellow, so I choose Cadmium Yellow Medium. The blue and the yellow will create the orange and green of Golden's mix. After adding the 3 colors, I am ready to begin. From the formula, we know this color is very red, And so I will type in 20 parts red. Then I will add 1 part of the blue and then add 4 parts of the yellow. Let's wait and let the mixer do its work. Here is our color so far, and it's easy to see it's not orange enough. So I add 2 more parts yellow. Once again, my color is too dark, and we need to be in the same value range. So I go to neutrals in order to lighten it. I will add zinc white, also known as mixing white, because titanium white turns red to pink far too easily. Let's add 2 parts. This color moves the tint very gradually, but it's not quite enough, so I add 1 more white. Let's compare the two using the boxes on the side. It needs more red, a tiny hint more yellow, and once again, we get very close, but not perfect, using the colors we have in our palette. The boxes to the right of each swatch are varying amounts of white added to the color, and it's often easier to see the match in these lighter colors, especially when working with very dark hues. Okay, we made 2 colors. They weren't exactly perfect, but that's okay. It might take too much time in this demonstration to make them very rigidly perfect. So I encourage you to experiment. Experiment with your own colors. Experiment trying to make colors that you know how to make with different colors. And next time we'll get together, I'll cover greens. So please like, tag, share, follow, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.